Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Harding Stadium in Steubenville, Ohio, the site of tonight's WTOV9 high school football game of the week between 4-1 Edison and 4-1 Steubenville. I'm Bill Phillips, along with the coach, Rich Walensky. And, Coach, these two teams come in off Week 5 losses. Their first losses of the season, obviously, as they're both 4-1. How tough is it to bounce back that next week against a good, solid opponent?
I don't think it's going to be real hard, Bill, because, this is developing into quite a rivalry between two neighboring schools, and, both coaches are very, very good friends with one another, and I think it's a personal thing, too. So I think both teams are going to be ready to play, especially since both coming off of really tough losses last week.
And, Coach, more importantly, how have you been? We haven't worked together since the All-Star game back this summer.
Well, I finally got my hip dislocated from George Callis after working with him so often on Saturday, so it's nice being back with you, Bill.
All righty, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're getting ready for the opening kickoff. Back with that right after this. And welcome back to the WTOV9 high school football game of the week. Edison Wildcats 4-1, Steubenville Big Red 4-1 from Harding Stadium. I'm Bill Phillips along with the coach, Rich Walensky, and Steubenville Big Red deferred on the coin toss, so Edison will receive to start this game. Coach, two teams we mentioned in the open, both coming off of losses last week. Both teams looking to get back on track right away, and I guess that first big play is going to be a big momentum swing for whichever team, just to get them thinking about this game and not worrying about what happened last week.
I agree, Bill, and as you recall last year, Edison gave up a lot of big plays to Steubenville High School early in the game.
Brett Warren takes it at the 15-yard line, across the 25 and out close to the 30-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats will start 1st and 10 on their first possession of the ball game. Let's take a look at the offense. Steve Moore at quarterback, an outstanding signal caller for the Wildcats. 11 of 25 for 173 last week. Richards, Leanza, Meyer, Holland, and Doherty, his backs and receivers that he'll be working with tonight. Up front doing the blocking for the Wildcats. Hubler, Van Dyke, Cantwell, Brooks, and Grimm up front doing the blocking for the Wildcats of Edison. Will set the Big Red defense in a moment. And on first down, play action for the Cats, and from behind, ball comes loose, and Big Red says they have it. So the first big break of the game comes on play number 1 from scrimmage.
Well, it's deja vu, Bill. This is pretty much what happened last year early in the game. Edison fumbled just about at the same place, and here you can see a little play action, good fake here by Stevie Moore, trying to hold those linebackers, looking for somebody to cross the middle, and protection breaks down. He gets hit from behind, and ball pops out, and two Big Red players there on the recovery.
So Big Red has it 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line of Edison to start things off. Vinny West this week has changed his number to 12, and he drops the football on first down. It's kicked back. Vane scrambling for it, but the Cats have it. The Wildcats get it right back.
Number 88, Derek Bendel, is there. He's the rover for Edison High School, is there on the recovery. And we're going to take a look at it. It's a handoff back here to West, coming over the right side. Just
it looked
ball
like
handling, hit him up in the chest. It looked like, Bill, and he never really got a handle on it. There's a scramble for it right there. It pops out, and Bendel is there for the recovery. So Edison has new life here on the exchange of fumbles early in the ball game.
Now, if you've never had shoulder pads on, there is a plastic portion of the pads that come down and sit on the chest, and that may have hit off that plastic, but West unable to hold on to it, and the Wildcats have it back. And on first down, they look to run Justin Knight with the stop, number 68 on the carry. Mike Leanza for Edison. He loses 4 on the play. Jones, Terry, Knight, and Spinner up front. Big Red will make multiple substitutions. Spiltz, Doran, Zapolnik, your linebackers. Defensive backs, Ellis, Healy, Mazzoli, and Mayo in the defensive backfield for Steubenville Big Red. 2nd down and 15 from the 36, and you see the variety that Edison brings to the table. They wanted to pass on first down, first possession, run on the second first down opportunity.
And they'll try to mix it up in there too.
Leanza on the carry. Picks up maybe a yard on the stop. Ryan Doran, number 62, also getting a piece of the action. Duke Jones, number 60.
Steve Moore has thrown the ball 88 times so far this year, Bill. He's completed exactly half of those with 44, and his ratio of touchdowns interceptions has improved dramatically since last year. He's thrown for 7 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions on the year. So he's really matured as a quarterback for Coach Bain and the Edison Wildcats. Big Red defense is very, very quick. They're very physical, and you could see it on the first 2 offensive plays that Edison tried to run.
Josh Meyer goes in motion, but Edison takes too long.
There's the signal by referee Tom Tillman. It's delay of game, so that's going to cost Edison 5. And they certainly don't want to make those mistakes after recovering that fumble. It's going to put him into a 3rd and real long situation. About 18 or 19 yards to go for the first down.
Man who went in motion, Josh Meyer. He has been a very versatile back for the Wildcats of Edison all around. 9 catches for 164 yards this year, 17 carries for 132. So you look for him to get his hands on the football, either out of the backfield in the pass pattern or running the football. 3rd and 18. Moore rolls, has some time, steps up in the pocket, goes downfield, and it is incomplete. Receiver turned into defensive back into receiver on that one. On the coverage for Big Red, Matt Ellison. He had great position, Coach.
Yeah, he did. Tyler Holland was the intended receiver, starting split end for Edison, and Stevie Moore trying to go deep. Pretty good protection this time. He steps up and is looking for Holland deep down the left sideline. The ball is slightly underthrown, and Holland does a good job of playing defensive back right there instead of receiver and knocks the ball away. Real good coverage that time by Matt Ellis, the defensive back.
It'll be 4th and 18 from the 33-yard line. No score in the game of the week. Edison and Steubenville Big Red. 10:04 to go on the first quarter clock. Jason Sanders back to punt for Edison. Good strong kick. High hanger comes down, and it'll be fielded at the 35-yard line, and that's where it'll stay, at the 35-yard line. On the stop for Edison, number 65. Bobby Van Dyke making the stop on the return for Big Red, John Healy. We'll take a timeout. 0-0 on the Steel Valley Sports Medicine scoreboard. Back at Harding Stadium, scoreless. Steel Valley Sports Medicine scoreboard, Edison and Big Red. First possession for both teams resulted in fumbles. Then Big Red's defense turned Edison away on downs. They punt the ball, and Big Red has it 1st and 10 from the 35, and Vinny West gets a second opportunity to carry the football on his first chance, fumbled it. This time he carries it out to about the 39-yard line. Matt Vane, Phillips West, to Coach Bain of Edison, calls one of the best backs in Big Red's history. Wearing number 12, he's your halfback. Mayo, Healy, and Radakovich, your backs and receivers for Big Red tonight. Seminara, Dorn, Ray, Jones, and Gasser up front doing the blocking. A very solid offensive line. We have a flag on the field, and we'll wait and see what the call is.
I think that's going to be an offside against Edison. Somebody lined in the neutral zone, so it's going to cost him 5. So instead of being 2nd and 7, it's going to be 2nd and about 2. And Edison cannot continue to make mistakes like this. You know, Coach Bain can put up with aggressive mistakes, but mental mistakes, you know, really bothers him, as it would any head coach for that matter. You know, you talk about, you know, Edison committing to stop the run. When you look at this defense, they've got about 9 people in the box. Just, you know,
Big Red throws.
Good coverage.
2nd down, completed to Mayo on the outside. It'll be a 1st down for Big Red. And Vane, who was hobbled with a little bit of an ankle injury last week, really put some zip on the football. Grim, Brooks, Hutchison, Doherty up front for the Wildcat defense. Van Dyke, Richards, Desper, and Bendel, your linebackers. Defensive backfield, Warren, Meyer, and Grimm. 1st and 10 from the 48 for Big Red. Phillips on the carry, the fullback out to midfield.
Number 65, Bobby Van Dyke, nose man in that 5-man front for Edison, in on the initial hit. And the one thing that Coach Bain was very concerned about all week getting ready for this game was was the ability to stop the very, very strong running game of Steubenville High School. There you had a look, just a real quick opener over the center, and Van Dyke played off the block very, very well, was able to get to the ball carrier, holding it to a gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Vane to the near side on 2nd down, pressured, and it is incomplete. Intended receiver was Healy. On the pressure for Edison, Van Dyke, who we just talked about, and Reno Suckoch in the paper this week said that he's a guy that can disrupt an offense. He's done it on a couple of occasions this year single-handedly.
He played very, very well for Coach Bain last year, and this year he's really come into his own, and that's one of the reasons why Coach Bain has changed from a 4-man front to a 5-man front, try to take advantage of Van Dyke's quickness by playing over the center or in either gap on either side of the center.
3rd and 8 from the 54 Big Red. West will go in motion on the near side of the field. Healy and Mayo split to the far side. Vane zips one down the field. Too much and a little bit behind Mayo, and it's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down at midfield and brings on the Big Red punting unit.
Pretty good coverage and pretty good pressure that time. Number 32, the inside linebacker that you're going to see in your picture right there, Josh Richards, is there very, very quickly. And but Vane does a good job of stepping up into the pocket, Bill, giving himself a little more time to try to get rid of that ball to his wide receiver, running a quick post pattern.
Michael D'Angelo doing the punting for Big Red, angles it towards the sideline. Ball's on the ground, but the Cats get right on top of it. Right looking to return, had to go through his hands, but he's able to get on top of it. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cats at their 21-yard line.
Nice kick that time by D'Angelo, a nice high spiral, and sort of tailed away from the receiver right there, but number 44, Craig Wright, was able to recover the bobble, and Edison will take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. I think it's real important for Edison to establish something here with their running game, see if they can get something going right here. A little option.
There it is, option down the line from Moore, and he is out to about the 25-yard line. Good pickup of about 4 yards on 1st down.
Stevie Moore does a good job of running this multiple offense of Edison. Good play action, good ball handler, good option runner, little belly fake right here, nice fill by the fullback, and fakes the pitch and then turns it up inside, and is able to get some positive yardage for Edison. Gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Howell to the far side of the field, Warren to the near side. Lone back in the backfield is Josh Meyer for the Wildcats. Hand off to Meyer, nothing doing right up the middle.
Single back offense that time, and Edison tried to cross out that Big Red defense, running a little counter action, starting to the right and then cutting it back to the left. There it is right here. You can see the backside guard and backside tackle pulling, but an awful lot of penetration by the Big Red defense holds that to a very, very short gain. As a matter of fact, may have lost a yard. Will bring up 3rd and 7.
Garrett Carter split to the far side of the field for the Wildcats. Moore, good play action. He froze the defensive end. Spinner, who actually stopped, waited, let Moore complete the pass as he looks outside to Carter, and Carter gets the 1st down out across the 30, but a great play action pass because Carlos Spinner, number 47, came across the line of scrimmage and actually stopped and looked to see if the running back had the football. He realized Moore had it, and before he could get to him, Moore delivers the pass. But if Spinner keeps coming, Coach, Moore's going to be sacked.
That's right, and he came unblocked that time. Nobody touched him coming off that defensive end position. He was aligned to the Big Red right.
Option near side of the field. Late pitch, and now the ball's on the ground, but it is recovered. Meyer puts his hand up as if to say it was a little too late, too much traffic to do that, as Moore tried to make something happen out of nothing. On the recovery was Carter. So Carter on back-to-back plays, making big plays, first with the 1st down reception and then recovering the fumble.
This is going to be a little belly action coming down the line right here. You can see Stevie Moore. He's looking to cut it up. Once he makes that decision right there, he ought to just keep the ball. And you can see right here they had all portions of the option covered, the dive back, the quarterback, and the pitch man. Very, very good assignment football that time by the Big Red defense.
Matt Ellis, number 15, was there to break up the pitch for Big Red. Now it's 2nd down and long, and the Wildcats trying to get a timeout. And they finally do. Now there's a flag on the field, and Edison, while they're trying to do that, had a few people moving around. We'll have to wait and see.
See what the call is going to be right here by Tom Tillman, the referee. I think he may wave this one off if he can find his flag. I think they got the timeout before the tight end was able to move from one side to the other, and I think that's what the call may have been.
Timeout down on the field. Edison Wildcats coach. We talked about it a little bit before the game. Now the Cats come in 4-1. This is their best start that they have gotten off to under Greg Boehnert, and they've really surprised some people. I remember we did the preview, and Coach Bain said we're cautiously optimistic, and a lot of coaches will tell you that, but he really thought we may have something, but we're not going to get too excited until we see exactly what we do have. And so far, it's been good.
Over the course of the first 5 games, I think that they have played really well. They started out 4-0, and the best start in the history, of our school, since our consolidation. And the team is playing with more confidence every week. The key thing, though, Bill, is the fact that they've been able to stay healthy. They haven't lost anybody for any length of time because of injury, and they've been able to keep the same starting lineup offensively and defensively, and that's always a plus at the high school level, or at any level for that matter. If you can keep your starters together like Coach Bain has been able to keep his.
Now the Wildcats face a 2nd down and 16 from the 26 with 5:42 to go in the first quarter. Set up the screen to the backside. They have blockers and a completion to Meyer. He stays on the sideline and is out across the 40-yard line, a few yards short of the first down, but a big pickup on 2nd down, and that really puts Edison in business on 3rd down.
The one thing about the Big Red defense is that they fly to the ball so aggressively that screens away, going one way with it like Stevie Moore did right here, and throwing back away from all of their pursuit really is something that I think that Edison is going to do a little more of, more misdirection, that type of thing. And because Big Red's defense is so aggressive and pursues to the ball so well that they're going to try to slow him down a little bit.
Flag on the play. Motion penalty against the Wildcats, and that hurts. And so far, Coach, you mentioned the mental mistakes with Coach Bain. He likes the aggressive physical mistakes. He doesn't like them, but he can deal with those. But the mental mistakes, they've really had a few penalties at costly times. Well,
this one is really going to hurt because they were 3rd and short, Bill. They were 3rd and about 2, and now they're going to end up 3rd and 7, which puts them into a passing situation. So we'll see if Stevie Moore tries to get on the perimeter with some sprint out action and throw for this first down.
Holland to the near side of the field for the Wildcats. Warren to the far side. Richards and Meyer in the backfield, and they're split on 3rd and 7 from the 36. More to throw. And it is picked off. Ryan Doran has it. He's going to run this one back inside the 15-10. Cuts back at the 5, and he's spun out of bounds by Richards on the interception. And earlier this week, I happened to see Doran. He pulled over at a stop sign, at a stoplight, rolled his window down. He said, "Hey, Bill." He said, "Talk about me on the game this week." And he didn't have his uniform number on. He was sitting in the car. I didn't recognize him. I said, "Who are you?" He said, "Ryan Doran from Big Red." I said, "You had the interception against Rayan." I said, "If you do something good, we'll talk about you." And he did something good right here for Big Red fans.
It was a great play. He got his hand up and, knocked the ball down and made the interception. And you can see that he has a lot of clear sailing down the sideline here. Good effort by Josh Richards, the big fullback from Edison, to catch up and get him out of bounds inside the 5.
Well, Big Red 1st and goal now from the 4. We are scoreless, and we have a flag. Whistles blow the play dead. Big Red may have been a little anxious.
Procedure penalty, and it seems like both teams are just fumbling for some rhythm here, early in this first quarter. And it's been a little bit sloppy so far, and I'm sure that the tension and the anxiety of the game probably has something to do with that. And kids are just losing focus and wanting to do so well that they're making mistakes right now.
Always a big game, one of those natural rivals that really, as soon as the series started, everybody took an interest in it. The schools very close to each other, relatively close, not too far away. As West gets the carry on 1st and goal, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Big Red. Touchdown, Vinny West.
The Big Red showed all of their strength to the left. They had double tight end with a wing that way. They offset the fullback to the left, and then they came back with a counter play to the right. It was a good call by the Big Red offensive staff, and Vinny West is able to get in for his score.
Another look at it, Coach.
See the backside guard pulling and opening up a little daylight for Vinny right here, and once he sees the crack, he takes it in for the score.
Extra point is right down the middle. It's good, and it is 7-0. Steubenville Big Red on top on the Steel Valley Sports Medicine scoreboard. Big Red on top, 7-0 with 4:16 to go in the first quarter. Back to the WTOV9 high school football game of the week between Steubenville Big Red and Edison. And tonight and every night this year for Steubenville Big Red, they continue to celebrate their 100 years of high school football. Great tradition here at Big Red. And tonight before the game, the 1984 state championship team honored and recognized for their accomplishment all the way back in the same year I graduated, except we didn't go to the state championship game in Connecticut. But we did beat Avon for second straight year.
I tell you.
So that's a big rivalry game, and I understand you guys had a real good game when you were coach of the Crusaders that year.
And when I looked down on the field and I saw John Murray standing down there, John caught a pass late, real late in the game for the winning score for Big Red, and that of course propelled them into the playoffs, and then eventually winning the state championship. So it was a great game. It was disappointing for Catholic Central, but it was a big boost for the Big Red.
The Big Red kicks it off, and it'll be Wildcats returning it out across the 20, and out near the 25-yard line is Warren on the return. Brett Warren, he's out to the 25 on the stop for Big Red. Luke Hartman, number 30. They will officially spot it down at the 24-yard line. So that's where the Wildcats will take over first and 10. Now, Coach, you mentioned both teams trying to get in a little rhythm. They haven't really found one. Cats give up the big play on offense, the turnover. What do you tell them now? What do you tell your kids as they head out to the field?
They're still in the ball game. They're only down by a score. They've played pretty good defense so far. They have to get their offense on track a little bit, and this may do something. That's Mike Leanza, the leading ground gainer for Edison there on a blast play over the left side. Good positive gain of about 4, brings up 2nd and 6. So just stay with the game plan. Just execute the game plan as we've worked on it all week. Early in the ball game, we're only down by 1. We can get back into this game very, very quickly. I think offensively for Edison, they have to move the sticks a few times to get a little bit of confidence in themselves that, they can move the ball against this Big Red defense. And, once they're able to do that, I think that you'll see the ebb and flow of the game, become a little more consistent.
Edison puts just about everybody in motion, and it'll be Meyer split way out to the outside. But again, Edison takes a little bit too long. So another costly penalty. They had 2nd down and a long 5. Now they will face 2nd down and about 11.
I think as the game progresses, you'll see less and less of that from Edison. They'll just line up and go with the play. This is the formation that I think they wanted to be in previously.
Moore looks to throw out across the middle, tipped and intercepted by Big Red. Mayo on the interception.
They're trying to go to Josh Myers on a quick slant to the inside. Myers had the inside position on the defender, but the ball thrown up just too high. Myers gets a hand on it, tips it right into the hands of the defensive back, DeMar Mayo, for the interception. That's a 3rd turnover in the first quarter for Edison, and they've really got to get it up here right now. Right there, he just throws the ball up. It's tipped, and very, very good concentration by Mayo for the interception.
Good old-fashioned tip drill. Work on it in practice every day to the defensive backs. Brian Benton running now for Big Red, and he picks up about 4 yards on 1st down. Derek Grimm comes up and makes the stop at about the 32-yard line.
This is the 2nd set of backs in there for Steubenville Big Red. Luke Hartman is at fullback now, and number 31, Brian Benton at the tailback position. And you'll see Big Red do an awful lot of this, rotate their offensive backs.
John Healy split to the far side, but it's Benton And in the backfield with Benton, just about getting the handoff, is Van Dyke, number 65, Bobby Van Dyke. And he is definitely the man in the middle of that Edison defense. You'll see him all over the field all night long, and he has good pursuit speed, Coach, down the line.
Does. Yeah, and you know, he doesn't over-penetrate. You're going to watch him right here. He gets off his block very quickly, gets right into the hip pocket of that pulling guard. But a real good job. I'm not sure who it was over here. The defensive end did a good job. Number 86, I think that was Doherty. Yeah, Kevin Doherty did a good job of taking on that lead blocker and squeezing the hole real small so that they could make the catch there.
Quick look to Healy on a little slant pattern on 3rd down and 5. It'll bring a 4th and 5 at the Edison 30-yard line. And
here it is right here, a real quick slant to the inside, but again, the ball slightly overthrown, intended for number 34 for Steubenville Big Red. That's John Healy, and the ball overthrown brings up 4th and about 5, and Big Red's going to go for it right here. Benny West back into the ball game. They'll be in a single back offense, double tight end with 2 flankers.
One of those flankers is Mayo. He goes across the formation. Now it is West looking for running room, tries to cut back, and he will be short of the 1st down. So Edison holds on 4th and 5 from the 30-yard line, and they get the football back at their own 26. So Big Red turned away after the interception by Mayo as we take another look at it.
Nice defensive series that time by the Edison Wildcats. This is the play that Vinny scored on earlier in this quarter, and you can see the good pursuit by the black jerseys to the football holds them short of the 1st down. So Edison will take over, and that's got to be a boost in confidence to that Edison defense right now.
Leanza and Richards in the backfield.
Steve Moore almost lost the handoff right there. It looked like he was bobbling the ball as he was coming down the line, trying to get the ball to Josh Richards on a quick dive over the right side, but very short gain of about 1. It'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Richards, real good size, 6'4", 220-pounder at fullback. He gets a carry on 1st down. He gets about a half a yard. Call it 2nd down and 9. 1:25 to go in the 1st quarter of play. 7-0 Big Red on a Vinny West touchdown as the Cats send Warren in motion. Play action. Moore flushed out of the pocket, has a man open. It's Richards. The fullback has it for a 1st down. Puts a little move on the defensive back, and he's out across the 40-yard line, out close to the 44.
Nice job by Steve Moore that time. He was under a rush from the backside and sprinted away from that. You see it right here. There's 2 fakes, and you can see number 46 is in hot pursuit, but Richards comes out of the backfield from his fullback position, is wide open. There's nobody assigned to him, and he's able to get to the 1st down marker and get a few more yards for a Edison 1st down at about their own 42-yard line.
Andrew Sapolnik putting the pressure on Steve Moore, but the left-hander able to get the pass off for 1st down to his fullback Richards. Now the option down the line. Leanza has it. He looks to get to the corner. Pursuit from Big Red will wrap him up at the 46-yard line, but a good gain on 1st down of about 4 yards, and that's always a win.
That sure is, Bill. Anytime you can get at least 4 yards on 1st down, it's considered a win. And again, the option, the down the line option, and Stevie Moore is reading pitch all the way. Here it is from the ground level. Nice job right here. And Leanza right here has a little bit of room on the corner, but real quick pursuit by the Big Red defense holds it to a gain of about 4. Will bring up 2nd and 6.
Credit Mayo with a tackle on 1st down. 2nd down and 6 from the 46, and it's Richards, the fullback, straight ahead, and he's out to the midfield stripe. And it'll bring up 3rd down and a long 2.5 yards or so for Edison to pick up a 1st down. It would be their first 1st down in Big Red territory of the night. But we are going to wait until the 2nd quarter. Let's take a look at the replay before we take a timeout.
Just a dive over the left side. Pretty good blocking that time. There's a little bit of a hole, and when Richards gets past the line of scrimmage, he's a real load to bring down. Very strong. He's a dedicated weightlifter and spends a lot of time in the weight room. So good job. A gain of about 5. It'll bring up 3rd and about 1.
Andrew Sapolnik with the stop. We'll take a timeout after 1 quarter of play. Big Red on top, 7-0. Back with the 2nd quarter after this. Big Red cheerleaders have a lot to cheer about right now. Their team leads it 7-0, but the Wildcats are on the move. at midfield. 3rd down and 2 from the 50-yard line for the Wildcats, looking to get into Big Red territory for the first time tonight.
Bill, Coach Bain and his staff I think they have to feel pretty good right now. You know, they had 3 turnovers in the first quarter, and they're only down.
Fortunate too.
They're only down 7-0. So you know, he's got to be feeling pretty good. You know, his offense is starting to move the ball a little bit. Defensively, they're playing real well, and so you know, he's got to feel pretty good. If they could get a score right now, it would really be a big boost in confidence. You know, to their team in this particular game. They have a 3rd and about 3. At midfield. So this is real important that they convert here on 3rd down.
Moore, handoff Leanza, and he won't get there. He'll be bottled up at the midfield stripe. Maybe the gain length of the football, but that's about it, as Big Red's defense really bottled that one up right at the line of scrimmage.
Okay, they played it real well. Didn't give any ground. Were able to play off their blocks and you know, hold that to a very short gain, and it'll bring up 4th down and put Edison into a punting situation.
Mayo and Healy will drop back deep. They'll stand at about the 20-yard line for Big Red. Doing the punting for Edison tonight, Jason Sanders, number 15.
Jason Sanders in punt formation for the Wildcats.
Sanders stands at his own 36-yard line. Good snap. Kicks away, and it ball bounces at the 20-yard line, and it'll be down inside the 10 by the Edison Wildcats. Getting down on the coverage is Craig Wright, and he is all the way down inside the 5-yard line, and that's where Big Red will start, 1st and 10. So good special teams coverage as Mayo slipped on the play, and the ball was allowed to bounce through and get all the way inside the 10.
And I'm sure that Coach Suckoch is not happy with that. He would have much rather, you know, seen his deep backs fair catch the ball to where they'd have it in much better field position. But Big Red has it 1st and 10 at about their own 6-yard line.
Vinny West on 1st down, looking for some room. He has a little and is able to get out to about the 10-yard line.
Gets about 3 over the left side, the stretch play over there, and looking for a hole off tackle. And Edison does a good job of stacking things up right at the line of scrimmage, holds them to a short gain of about 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. Here it is right here, and you can see there's 3 players on Bobby Van Dyke that time. They want to make sure that he's not going to get to the tackle on that one.
Derek Bendel makes the stop for the Wildcats. 10:40 to go. 2nd quarter of play. Big Red leads at 7-0. Healy in motion. Brian Benton in the backfield. He has the football on the carries across the 15-yard line. Leans out close to the 16. He'll be about a yard short of the 1st down. Brian Benton rushing with a lot of confidence this season. Last year, Benton looked a little more tentative, but with experience, gained confidence, and this year he's run the football with a lot of confidence and passion as he gets up into the hole and puts the shoulder down, keeps the legs moving.
Good job by the defense getting over there quickly to hold him short of the 1st down, so it's going to bring up 3rd and about 1. And referee Tom Tillman brings both teams together, and I'm sure he's telling them, look, guys, you know, let's play football. Let's you know, cut out all the talk and so on. And that's one thing I always admire about Tom Tillman. You know, he, instead of throwing the flag, you know, he'll call the teams together and warn them and remind them of you know, being good sports all the way.
3rd and short. Hand off to the fullback Phillips. We'll see if he got there, and it looks like he did. It should be a 1st down for Big Red.
But if he made it, Bill, he made it on the 2nd effort, because he was initially hit there by number 70, Neil Hubler, but kept moving. And if there's anybody that's an unsung hero in that Big Red offense, it's number 27, Phillips, because he is really a tough kid that does a lot of good lead blocking for Vinny West and for Benton.
West on 1st and 10 from the 18 into the secondary, has some running room. This could turn into a foot race. West out at midfield. Meyer will catch him from behind as he was taking him down. Also tried to strip the football away, but West is able to hang on. A big gain for Big Red, and they are out to the 44 of Edison.
One thing that Coach Spain didn't want to do was not give up the big play, and there's the the counter again, and there's people there, but real good shiftiness by Vinny West, and there you can see he cuts it back against the grain that he does so well, but good effort here by Josh Meyer. Watch his right hand trying to knock the ball away, but a good effort by Josh Meyer to bring him down.
Brian Benton gives West the blow, and he'll pick up about a yard, but a good play defensively. Coming up quickly was Brett Warren from his defensive back position, came up and shut it down and made a good open field tackle on Brian Benton.
Benton runs with much more power to the outside than Vinny West does. Vinny uses his speed and his shiftiness and his ability to cut back. Benton more of a power runner when he gets on the perimeter. Good open field tackle, as you said, Bill, by Brett Warren, bringing him down after a short gain of about 2. West back in as the tailback for Big Red.
2nd down and 9 from the 43. Handoff to West, and he's greeted in the middle of the pile. Coming up quickly, I believe that's Josh Richards, number 32. And Richards, 220, 6'4". He's got some leverage.
Yeah, he does. He at that time he got underneath Vinny's pads. It's a little difficult to do because he runs so low right here. But you can see, boom, good solid hit by Josh Richards, and he keeps his feet moving upon contact and is able to hold Vinny West to a very, very short gain, or maybe no gain. So it'll bring up 3rd and about 9.
Vinny 5'7", 170 pounds. Richards 6'4", 220. Coach Bain says Vinny, a very strong running back. People don't give him credit for that, but when he runs into 6'4", 220 head on, 220 is going to win most times. Vane looks long, looks to the sideline for Healy, and it is in and out of his hands at the 10-yard line.
I tell you, he laid the ball right there. Healy had a shot at it, was right on his hands, but he wasn't able to handle it. Stretched out for the ball a little bit, and he was covered by number 21, Brett Warren, and he had a couple steps on Warren. Little play action, holds those linebackers, and he's looking all the way for Healy, and gets some nice air under the ball right here. Nice soft touch, and right there as he stretches out for it, wasn't able to hang on. It's a good shot right here from ground level.
Just at the beginning of that second replay, Coach, as we take a look at the punt and on the sideline, and Big Red fortunate that one wasn't returned for more. On the return, Tyler Holland, the punt really went to the sideline, and he was coming up the field with a full head of steam. Had a chance to get into some open areas, so we take another look at it.
Good field position. Here it is right here. He takes it on the fly. Good soft hands. Is able to elude one tackler, and then the rest of the Big Red special teams catches up. Good field position for Edison at about the 34-yard line. This is going to be an official timeout, and I think it may be just a water break.
Let's take a timeout. 7-0 Big Red in the second quarter. We'll take a timeout, come back right after this. Take a look across the field at some of the Edison Wildcat fans. Good contingent of fans coming down to Harding Stadium from Wildcat country for tonight's ball game. They are looking for some offense right now. They trail it 7-0 to the Edison Wildcats. Big Red on top. Vinny West on touchdown run earlier in the first quarter. That's our score, 7-0. Moore, the southpaw, looks to roll, has a man open, out across the 45 and out near midfield on the reception. Kevin Doherty, number 86, the big tight end, making the catch. 6'4", 192-pounder, senior, makes the grab and has a first down for the Wildcats.
Nice ball handling here by Steve. He hides the ball very, very well. Bootlegs back to his right, and that's a difficult throw for him being a left-hander. Doherty sneaks out from his tight end position into the flat, wide open, and is able to bring it up for a first down near midfield.
Edison will split two to the near side of the field. Carter along with Holland on the near side, but it's a running play, and here comes Meyer. Has some room to the outside. Good speed into the secondary. Stiff arm, still on his feet, and out across the 35 of Big Red. A nice run from Josh Meyer as he's across the 35, and he has another first down for the Wildcats.
Meyer does a nice job here. It's a little fake and then a hand back here. Backside guard and tackle pulls, makes a nice move right here, makes the defender miss. Now he turns it upfield and gets into the secondary. Nice stiff arm right here to get him some extra yards before he's brought down at about the 35 of Big Red.
Matt Ellis on the stop for Steubenville Big Red. Moore, play action. looks and has a man. Ball comes out, and it'll be ruled incomplete. On the play, the intended receiver, Garrett Carter, is incomplete as he could not hang on. A good call.
Steve wasn't able to get as much on that as he wanted to. You're going to see a little fake right here, and he's under a little bit of pressure, and you can see that he sort of shot puts the ball more than anything, but he still gets it there. But number 22, Garrett Carter, just not able to hold on, so it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Duke Jones, number 60, getting the pressure on Moore. On the coverage, John Healy for Big Red. Screen is set up to the near side. Josh Richards is tripped up, keeps his balance, dives ahead to the 32-yard line, but credit the fullback linebacker Phillips as he took on a blocker, managed to get through the blocker and trip up Richards. And if he doesn't do that, Richards could be off to the races. Absolutely.
Little short gain right here. Richards does it very well, and Moore does a good job of selling it. But very, very good defensive play right there by Phillips, as you can see, and is able to get to the ball carrier and bring him down for actually a very, very short gain. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 10. It's very important for Edison to convert here and get a first down and maintain possession.
Ball at the 35. Moore looking to pass, backside pressure. He'll keep, and he is stopped at the 32-yard line. Pickup of a couple, but it'll bring up 4th and long. But I believe Edison is in 4-down territory here. They're not going to punt the football.
I don't think they're going to punt. They're going to go for it. It's going to be 4th and about 7 or 8. You can see here again some play action trying to hold those linebackers, but Steve Moore's got to bail out, and then now he's reading run all the way. Gets as much as he can, puts his head down, and gets it up for about a 4-yard gain.
Andrew Sapolnik on the stop. We'll take a look at what's coming up this weekend on WTOV9. College football. It's it's Iowa. Can't read. Iowa and Michigan State Saturday at noon. And then the Big Ten open for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Wisconsin and Ohio State meet up. Ron Dane lost to Cincinnati. Ohio State was down 17-3 to Cincinnati before they came back. So two clubs that are one common opponent so far this year. Cincinnati gave them fits. Wisconsin lost their ball game. Ohio State had to come back. You'll see those two meet in the first game of the year in terms of Big Ten play for Ohio State. Wisconsin played last week against Michigan and lost there. And Ron Dane's Heisman Trophy candidacy shaky at best right now.
I tell you, those non-conference games in the Big Ten have been very, very competitive. For Wisconsin and Ohio State. Penn State's win over Pitt, very, very close. And
I don't know how they managed to win
Miami.
I still can't figure that out.
It was fate, Bill. It was just fate. That's all it was. Yeah. It was intended to be. That's the way God wanted it.
Well, I should have called Coach Davis right before that last play and just said, make sure you double up the receivers. Don't give them anything.
Either that or play zone, but they were in coverage. That
was could be the play of the year.
Could be.
That was a fantastic play by Penn State. Great ball game.
Yes, it was. It was really a good ball game.
4th down and 7 from the 32 for the Edison Wildcats. 5:47 to go in the second quarter of play. 7-0 Big Red. Cats looking to get on the board. Meyer, and it is just a little bit short. Moore short hopped it. Meyer had lost his balance as the ball arrived, and Big Red dodges a bullet as Edison comes up just a bit short on the 4th down pass to Meyer.
I tell you, it's their good block here by Josh Richards, and gives Stevie some time to throw. He doesn't get his body turned around, and you can see Meyer is wide open running a slant pattern to the inside, and the ball is short. Big Red takes over at their own 31-yard line.
Vinny West on 1st down. Cuts back as he was headed outside. Cut back off the block of John Healy, and he's across the 35-yard line. Pick up about 4.5, 5 yards on first play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5 for Big Red. What
they try to do, Big Red, they give you trips. They try to soften that corner over there to get people in coverage, get some of the defenders away from the box, and then go that way with West. Asking him to find the crack, and he almost did that time. It's gain of 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Main option with West. West will have the 1st down or close to it out near the 42-yard line. looked like there might be a reverse on, but Vane kept and then decided to pitch as the flanker came down the line of scrimmage back towards the quarterback.
Excellent play by number 21 right here. That's Brett Warren, plays off the block, the lead block there, and is able to get to Vinny West before he got too big of a gain, but it is a first down at about the 44-yard line.
Vane, a little bit of a broken play, he decides to keep, and he gets it out across the 45-yard line out to the 46 before he is stopped. Desper, Lance Desper, number 46, making the tackle for the Edison Wildcats.
Vane looking to hand off that time to Vinny West, but Vinny kept on running wider and wider, and Vane couldn't get to him to hand it off. So very, very smartly and very intelligently, he just held on to the ball and went ahead and followed those two lead blockers. You can see right there that Edison loses contain on the ball, and Vane is able to get it up for a gain of about 3, 2nd and 7.
West. They keep meeting like that in the middle. I think Vinny's going to want to go somewhere else. That was Josh Richards again, number 32, the big linebacker fullback for Edison, and he put the wood to Vinny West as he came through the middle.
Good solid hit. He's telling Vinny, you want to walk on my street, you're going to have to pay the toll, and here it is right there. Good solid hit by Josh Richards, inside linebacker for Edison, but Vinny will he's not going to back off. He'll keep on coming at you. He's out of the ball game. Benton is in at the tailback position.
3rd down and 5 for Big Red. Benton to the corner, and he'll be close to first down yardage. Meyer there, Warren there, also in on the stop. Anthony Grimm, number 63. Did he get enough?
It's going to be close. Tom Tillman's taking a good, hard, long look at it. He's going to signal first down. Right here, they're trying to reach on that defensive end, just trying to stretch the defense, trying to find room for Benton to make a cut. There he is right there. He runs through one tackler, and then number 63 comes from the inside out. It's Anthony Grimm on the tackle, along with Josh Meyer, the free safety.
So it's 1st and 10 with 3:10 to go in the second quarter play for Big Red.
They come with the counter again, Bill. No, they're coming with the sprint out this time.
Looks downfield for Healy, and he threw it a little bit closer to the post. Healy ran the skinny post.
Well overthrown. Good coverage again by number 21 in that defensive secondary for Edison. That's Brett Warren. But again, Big Red trying to go deep and unsuccessful. So we're going to take another look at it here. This is the formation they were in when West scored their only touchdown. They came back to the tight end side. Right here you can see nice soft touch, tight spiral by Vane, but pretty good coverage in that defensive secondary. Down the line option.
Vane is going to keep, cuts it back. Anthony Grimm there to make the stop on the bottom of the pile. Getting the legs wrapped up for Edison was Bobby Van Dyke, number 65. And you'll hear his name quite a bit tonight. Brings up 3rd down and about 7.5, 8 yards for Big Red as the ball's at the 44-yard line of Edison.
See if they decide to go with some play action pass or something to West on the outside. Formation is this way. Sprint out.
Looking for Healy again, and a flag comes in late. And it didn't look like there was contact until the ball had already gone by.
Ball was thrown well behind him and past him, and the back judge makes a pass interference call.
Justin Howell on the coverage, but to me that looked like the ball had already gone past the intended receiver when they collided, but it will go against Edison.
Boy, that's a big play for Big Red and a big play against Edison. Here it is right here. Vane going deep down the middle of the field again. And you can see the ball is way overthrown and way behind him. And we're going to take a look at it from ground level.
There's really no contact until after the ball is past the receiver. So the official may have missed that one, and the Edison crowd let him know about it. They were not happy about it. The Big Red fans pleased because they get the automatic first down as they
maintain possession inside the 30-yard line. That's a big play for Big Red.
Coach Bain better be careful, and the coaching staff for Edison. He's way out on the field.
Don't want to get another one.
He is letting the officials have it. Really can't blame him on that play because it did not look like there was interference on that play. But it's Big Red football. West has some running room. Richards will track him down again. This time, Vinny West has me thinking the last 3 times I've carried the football, I've seen Richards, and Richards. I saw him twice inside. I'll go outside. He's still there.
Nice move, though, by Vinny. Everything was clogged up inside. He bounces it to the outside. He has great vision. That's something that you don't teach a back to do. You either have it or you don't have it. And Richards does a good job of just being able to reach out here and get a hold of Vinny's shoulder pads and drag him down for a very short gain of about 2, so it'll be 2nd and 8.
The weight work paying off. He gets still one big paw on him, and he's taking him down. 2nd down and 8 from the 27 for Big Red.
Counter.
West looking to get to the corner, spins and dives ahead, close to first down yardage, and it looks like they'll give him a very favorable spot out close to the 16-yard line, so he will have a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 Big Red with 1:35 to go.
Here's the play. Good kick-out block here, gives him plenty of room to run. And Desper is there, and then there's Richard. No, that's Justin Howell there. And a good second effort by Vinny West to get the first down at about the 16-yard line.
Hand off to West. Across the 10-yard line and inside to about the 8. He's short of the first down by a couple with 1:14 to go on the clock, and we have a timeout down on the field called by Big Red as we take another look at it.
And this is what Coach Bain was so concerned about, was the cutback ability. He wanted to make sure that he had all of the gaps covered, and here you can see he's cutting it back, and there's some running room there. There's good movement by the offensive line to get West those extra yards.
Down on the field, Coach Bain is really, I don't know if we can get a shot of it. We'll take a timeout and come back with more right after this. And welcome back. We take a look at the Edison defensive huddle. Coach Bain down in that huddle, and he's still barking at the officials after the long pass interference penalty that has kept this Big Red drive alive. 1:14 to go in the 2nd quarter of play. West down to about the 5-yard line. He'll be close to a first down.
Big Red still has 2 timeouts left, so they'll be looking to use them here, very, very wisely. It's going to be close to a first down. They stopped the clock to take a look at it. It's a blast play over the left side, and pretty good penetration that time by the Edison defense. Lance Desper, number 46, on the tackle. They're going to take a timeout for a measurement.
I said the pass interference penalty kept the drive alive. It helped keep the drive alive. Big Red's been moving the ball pretty efficiently on this drive, but that was a big key play as they picked up 15 big yards and gave them a first down, and they have another first down at the 6-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 6 for Big Red with 1:06 to go in the first half of play. And if Edison could turn them away here and keep it 7-0 before the half, that would be a major victory and send them into the locker room in a great frame of mind.
And on the other side, it would be a big boost to the Big Red offense if they could punch it in here also, giving them a 2-touchdown lead at the half.
And it'll be a motion penalty against Steubenville Big Red.
One of the interior linemen moved prior to the snap, so it'll be a procedure penalty against Big Red. That'll cost them 5, so it'll put the ball back at about the 10-yard line. And mistakes continue to plague both of these teams here in the first half. See if they pound West over the right side again.
44 seconds to go in the half. West to the right side of the line. Richards gets a hand on him, slows him down enough where he's then tripped up and stopped by Meyer and Bendel at the 6-yard line, and we have another timeout. And if they didn't know each other before the game, they do now.
Here it is. There's the blast play, the stretch play, I should say, over the right side. And again, there's Richards from behind, gets his hand on Vinny's shirt and slows him down so that everybody else can catch up. Holds him short of the 5-yard line at about the 7. So it'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line with 34 seconds left. Big Red has 1 timeout remaining.
What do you look for Big Red to do trying to punch it? Do you think they'll keep it on the ground with a 1 timeout, or do they want to go in the end zone with a pass?
I think that they're probably going to keep it on the ground, Bill. That's been their bread and butter all year, and I don't know if Coach Sutcotch is going to give up on that. I would imagine that, we'll probably see West on something from the tackles out. I don't think it'll be anything to the inside. And, they'll give him an opportunity to use his speed and his abilities on the outside.
And knowing that, what is Edison going to devise defensively?
Well, Coach Bain has worked a lot this year on an angling defense. We may see them in a five-man defensive front, angling to one side or the other. Big Red likes to run into the boundary, and their boundary is to the right. That's where they have their formation set right now. So we'll see what they do, or see if they come back to the wide side of the field with West.
Play action. Vane swings it outside, complete, stepping out of bounds. The receiver on the catch. Joe Yannock, number 44, on the completion, and he has it down to the 5-yard line.
It's only a gain of, it's only a gain of 2 yards, so that's that's good defense on Edison's part. They only gave up a 2-yard gain, so it's 3rd and goal from about the 5-yard line. And Big Red has one more timeout left. They'll do something with it on this down, then I think they'll call a timeout if they don't score on first down. Single back offense. We'll see if they go with some misdirection with West.
Healy will go in motion to the far side of the field.
There it is.
West comes back, has a block, has a touchdown. Big Red gets into the end zone for the 2nd time tonight with 24 seconds to go in the first half of play, and they now lead it 13-0. Vinny West in from 5 yards out.
Counter. He takes a step to his left and comes back. Good blocking there, and you can see that somebody got a hand on him, but being deceptively a strong runner, backside guard and backside tackle pull. He has a nice little hole right here, and inside linebacker gets a hand on him but can't bring him down. It's a touchdown for Big Red, and they convert the kick, making it 14-0.
14-0. Steubenville Big Red on top of the Edison Wildcats with 24 seconds to go in the first half of play. Want to remind everybody, coming up at halftime tonight, have our Battle of the Bands. Edison and Big Red, 2 marching bands that are ready to play at halftime. We'll have both bands on and take a look at the scoreboard and the coaching staff for Edison. They'll have some work ahead of them at halftime as they try and regroup, retool, and get ready for the second half of play. But right now they have an opportunity to take one more crack out of the 24 seconds. Meyer back deep to return the kick. He'll stand at about the 10-yard line.
He'll be flanked by number 21 on one side. That's Brett Warren, and I think it's 24, Mike Lianza on the other side as the deep returning backs. Number 14 will be the kicker from placement, the kickoff man here, and unfortunately I don't have his name or his number in the program, so I don't know who that is. Nice kick.
And over-end kickoff will come down to Meyer at the 10-yard line. Out across the 20, hurdles the tackler and is out to the 27-yard line. And we have an injured Big Red player down on the field, number 30, Luke Hartman, sophomore, down on the field, and that was the player that Meyer hurdled over as he returned the football across the 25 and out close to the 27-yard line, and he's being attended to. Hartman is by the Big Red training staff. There's a look at Vinny West. Now we take a look at Hartman down on the field.
Yeah, he wasn't moving there for a while, but I'm glad to
nice
see
to
that
see
he's
those
moving
legs
now.
move.
Yeah, it sure is, and his arms and hands too.
I didn't want to say anything, but I was starting to get a little nervous when you don't see some movement down there, and he's moving his arms and legs, so that is good news. But both teams have been called to the sideline as they attend to Luke Hartman. Wanted to mention Vinny West. We had a shot of him on the sideline just a few moments ago. He came into the game with 801 yards on the ground, 13 touchdowns, now has 15. As we take a look at Luke Hartman, who's being attended to down on the field. If you're Big Red now, Coach, up 14-0, 20 seconds to go. Big Red last year really had problems giving up late touchdowns on big plays at the end of the half and at the end of the game. what are they telling the Big Red defenders right now in that defensive huddle?
Don't give up a big play.
Exactly. I knew that was coming. Set you up for that one, Coach. Well, while you actually think of what they're actually saying in the huddle, we'll take a look at what's coming up this weekend. Ovac Cross Country Championship. That's at 2:30 out at Meadowbrook High School. That was last weekend. We'll have that performance of cross-country runners coming up Sunday. An outstanding day. An outstanding cross-country championship.
Is it true that you were running with them with a camera and filming that the whole way?
Yeah, that was my challenge that week. Don Sloan, he must be smarter than me. He got a 4x4 outdoor vehicle to take him around, but he did get a little seasick by the end of the day going up and down the hills on those.
He's sort of a four-wheeler kind of guy.
Yeah, that would be a four-wheeler. He's getting ready for hunting season. I think he's testing all of his equipment out. Game of the week, number 2, 3:30. You'll be there for that one along with George Kellis. So I only get to see you for one game, and then you're back with George.
I know.
Wheeling Central and Bel Air St. John at 3:30 on Sunday afternoon. So if you're looking for something to do on Sunday afternoon, and sit down. Yeah, something next week. Everybody's interested in the Major League Baseball season. Looks like the Reds and Indians will both be in the playoffs, representing the state of Ohio. If you are into Buckeye State Major League Baseball teams, we have divisional playoff series Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday beginning at 8 p.m. and 7:30. So that means Tuesday and Friday next week will probably go on late with News 9 tonight. And Sports Friday might be a little bit delayed depending on what's going on with the Major League Baseball games. And, of course, on Saturday, 7:30 start there. But some great baseball coming up. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back with 20 seconds to go in the first half of play right after this. And welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. Steel Valley Sports Medicine scoreboard 14-0 Big Red. Luke Hartman taking off on a stretcher. Good news is he was able to stand up, moving his arms and legs, so they're probably taking him to the hospital to get checked out. As Edison on first down, hands it to Leanza, and Leanza down the sideline at the 40 and knocked out of bounds at about the 36. 10 seconds left on the clock. And Coach, we talked about the big play at the end of the half, end of the ball games that really hurt Big Red last year, and there Leanza almost takes it the distance.
Well, Ted, Big Red is in a prevent defense. They have all their defensive backs very, very deep. Their linebackers softened a whole lot. Leanza shows some nice speed here and is able to get by Benton, as you can see right there. He gets to the sideline, gets as much as he can, and then is going to hug that sideline as much as possible, stop the clock with 10 seconds left to go. Big gain for Edison at bringing the ball down to about the 36-yard line of Big Red.
Meyer and Holland split to the far side of the field, and we have whistles.
I don't know. I don't see any flags. Big Red called a timeout, their last one. They better put 2 seconds back on the clock.
Look at the Edison crowd out on the field. Greg Bain, the head coach of Edison, talking to the officials. He says that you need 10 seconds on that clock. And they are resetting the clock at 10 seconds.
Well, they actually gave him an extra second. They set it at 11.
Edison fans happy about that. Big Red fans, I'm sure, in a moment when they notice it, will be upset.
That's Big Red's last timeout. Edison has one timeout left, and they very, very possibly could get in 2 plays. They may want to call, something to the sideline where they can stop it, or if they're going to do something in the middle of the field, Bill, then they have to be prepared to use their last timeout. They also have one timeout left. They now reset the clock to 10 seconds.
14-0 Big Red. 1st and 10 now for Edison at the Big Red 35-yard line. 10 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Twins set over to the right, tight end to the left. See if they come with play action. Now they're going to motion into trips.
Meyer goes in motion that way. Moore will roll that way. Gets a block from Richards. Now it is laid out, and it is caught by Meyer. He calls for timeout. Flag on the play. It was a completion inside the 15 and a flag.
They'll take the play, Bill, because the play is more than the 15-yard pass interference call will be. That was a great catch by Meyer right here. Stevie Moore has time, steps up into the pocket, throws the ball up, gives Josh Meyer a chance to play it. Safety coming over in nice shape. Number 9 was there, playing the ball all the way, but Josh Meyer able to make the catch for Edison down inside the 15-yard line with 3 seconds left to go, and we'll see if they're going to have to go into the end zone with it. They don't have time to do anything else, and they've used their last timeout. I don't think they'll go for the field goal. I don't think they've attempted a field goal this year, and I'm sure that Coach Bain would much rather have the touchdown here than attempt a field goal.
What play do you think he'll be most comfortable with running in this situation?
Steve Moore is very, very good with with bootleg action, faking one way and then coming back the opposite way. Personally, I would look for him to fake something over the right side, come back with a roll to the left where he's most comfortable throwing as a left-hander, and try to get some type of a flood action over here on the left side of their offensive formation.
Taking a look at the Edison student body section tonight in the end zone right behind Big Red's defense. They would love to have Steve Moore roll that way and find someone in the back of the end zone, or decide just to tuck it and run with it and get in the end zone. They don't care how they get it there. They just want it in the end zone. 3 seconds to go. Big Red on top, 14-0. First half of play. Edison looking to get on the board. Could be the final play of the first half. Moore looks to run, looks to throw, and he runs out of daylight as he is sacked for a loss on the stop. Justin Knight and Duke Jones, and we have a flag on the play now. It came in late.
See what the call is going to be.
Big Red's team is almost all the way off of the field. The only way
you can't end a half on a defensive penalty, so we'll see what the call is going to be.
But if it's a dead ball after the play, would it be assessed?
Personal foul against Big Red. And that will probably be assessed. I'm not so sure what that second signal was that Tom gave. He gave a dead ball signal, and then he pointed toward the Edison side. So I'm going to assume that that's a dead ball foul. Penalty will be assessed on the second half kickoff.
That's the way the first half ends. 14-0. Big Red on top at the half. When we come back, we'll take a look and listen to the marching bands of both schools. Don't go away. Welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week at the half. Big Red on top, 14-0. Big Red able to stop the Wildcats, put a big march together just before the end of the first half, but came up empty. And now it's halftime. Welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week on the Steel Valley Sports Medicine scoreboard. 14-0. Big Red over Edison as we get ready for the third quarter of play. Both teams finishing up their stretches. Edison coach came out just a touch on almost on the late side, and they're taking their time. They had a long talking to perhaps by the coaches as they get ready for a big second half, trying to climb a mountain that they have to go up 14-0.
Referee Tom Tillman, Bill, gave a signal just a minute or so ago, personal foul penalty against Big Red. That was right at the last play of the first half. So they're going to be penalized 15 yards on this kickoff here in the second half. So Edison will be kicking from the 45-yard line of Big Red instead of from their own 40. We're going to take a look at the 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This is the first one. Vinny West over the right side, a little counter play. He'll come back and score right before the half with about 34 seconds left to go in the first half on the identical play. And we're going to see it here at the other end of the field. Here it is right here again. Takes a step to his left. Both the backside guard and tackle pull. He breaks through a tackle by Josh Richards at about the 5 and then takes it in for the second score. And that, of course, was set up by a pass interference call on the 3rd and about 8 or 9 on Edison that enabled Big Red to maintain possession and go in for the score right before the half. Edison came back, though, as you recall, Bill, on a big run by Mike Lianza, and then a big pass completion to Josh Myers. They had about 3 seconds left to go in a half, and tried to come back with something to the left of their formation, but Steve Moore was sacked for the loss, and then the penalty, which was marked off here at the beginning of the second half.
Let's go for the onside kick. Yep, it's going to be a squibber right down the middle. It'll be fielded by Benton at the 3-yard line, across the 10, 15, out across the 20, still on his feet, and he is out across the 25-yard line and out to the 27, and he was just trying to run over everybody on the Edison squad.
Yep, he sure didn't look for any openings. He just ran straight up the field, got his shoulders square to the line, to the goal line, and ran straight north and south, as most good return men will do. So they have pretty good field position at about their own 27-yard line. Single back offense again. See what Big Red comes up with here at the beginning of the second half.
Vinny West in the backfield for Big Red, 1st and 10, and it'll be West on the carry. Dives out across the 30 for a couple of yards. First half, West 16 carries for 92 yards. Big Red 25 carries for 121 yards overall.
Here's that little counter play again. This time he's going to cut it back. Both the backside guard, backside tackle pull, and Josh Richards is there. Gets a hand on him, brings him down after a gain of about 3. Will bring up 2nd and 7.
Matt Vane passing for 6 yards, 2 of 7. No interceptions, no touchdowns, 6 yards total. So total offensive output of 127 yards in the first half for Big Red, as West gets a carry and Van Dyke is there in the backfield, and it'll be a loss on the play. I didn't even have to check the number. Just had a feeling he was in the backfield again.
I don't know if we have that on replay, but this is a great play by Bobby Van Dyke. He's going to play off of 2 blockers, first off the center, then off the lead back, and boom, he's right there. Makes a good tackle on Vinny West for a loss of about 2. It'll bring up 3rd and about 8. That's maybe a loss of 1, 3rd and 8. Good defensive play by Bobby Van Dyke, nose man for Edison.
Big Red looking for their 9th first down of the ball game, 8 in the first half. Vane to throw, has time, looks across the middle, and it is behind the intended receiver. Radakovich, the tight end, incomplete. On the coverage for Edison was Desper, Lance Desper, number 46, and it'll go over to Edison on downs as Big Red sends in the punting unit.
Pretty good coverage that time by Lance Desper, the inside linebacker. Josh Richards is coming on a blitz to the over the right side of that defense, and Desper's back in coverage and had pretty decent coverage, was able to get a hand up, and
D'Angelo's punt comes down to the 42-yard line and finally stopped at the 46 on the return for Edison is Holland, and we will take a timeout, come back with more right after this. And welcome back to WTOV9's high school football game of the week. Bill Phillips along with coach Rich Walensky. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Good field position at the 46-yard line, and they'll hand to Lianza, and he is out across the 48 to about the 49-yard line. Pickup of about 3-4 yards on first down.
Little cross action that time, counter action, fake to Richards over the right side, then a hand back to Lianza coming to his left, backside guard and tackler pulling. Here it is right here. Lianza does a good job of getting behind his big offensive tackle. It's Jeff Brooks, and is able to get it upfield for about a gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6. Edison needs to do something with the ball here, move the sticks a couple times.
Richards, the fullback, spins out close to the 45-yard line. He's about 1.5 yards short of a first down for the Wildcats. Filtz on the stop for Big Red. Edison in the first half, 15 rushes for 53 yards. Steve Moore passing, 2 interceptions, 6 of 12 for 71 yards, a total of 124 yards of offense for Edison. 6 first downs in the first half as they look to pick up their 7th of ball game. Paul Firm, the official statistician for Steubenville Big Red, the stats as Edison gets the first down on the keeper. I'd like to thank Paul and Edison. I'd like to thank the quarterback and the offensive line for picking up that first down and give them first and 10 at the 42. And a big first down as they get into Big Red territory and start to look to get into the end zone again.
A new set of downs for Edison in Big Red territory, inside the 45-yard line at about the 43. We'll see if Edison will throw here on first down with a little bit of play action by Stevie Moore.
There's the play action. Moore will keep it. He's strictly running on this one as he is knocked out of bounds and into the bench area. On the stop for Steubenville Big Red, Joe Pizzoli, number 32.
Short gain bail of maybe 3 yards at the most. It's going to bring up second and about 7. Again, play action, and looked like a run all the way. I was watching the wide receiver to that side was running more of a blocking route more than a pass route, and Moore was able to get it up for a very short gain. As I said, will bring up second and about 7.
Moore on the option. Lianza one-on-one with Mayo. Mayo gets some help from Healy, and it is Lianza being brought down at the 35-yard line. Pickup of about 6 on the play. Good play by Lianza, and a good play by Mayo to keep him occupied, not let him get around him and get some big yards.
Belly option, as you can see right here, and it's a pitch all the way. Lianza gets on the corner, tries to make a move on Mayo right here, but Mayo, not having anything to do with that, is able to recover and get over there to assist on the tackle. It's going to bring up third and about 2 at the 35-yard line of Steubenville Big Red.
First half, Edison 1 for 5 on first down conversion opportunities. Can they improve here? They do. They are 2 for 2 now on first down or on third down conversion opportunities here in the second half. And it is Richards, the big fullback, out across the 30-yard line, and the Cats are on the move again.
It's a subtle change, Bill, but Richards in the first half was running just a straight dive play, you know, over his guard, either right or left. This time he's coming just a little bit wider and is able to find a little bit of crack there outside his own offensive tackle. And that's the second time he's run that play now in this series of downs, and has able to gain some real positive yardage and keep the sticks moving.
Moore on first down. Lianza running room to the sideline. He's down the sideline. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Edison.
And no flags on the play. And I'll tell you, that's one of the plays that Edison lives and dies by, is that counter, the fake to the fullback one way, and then the counter back with the backside guard and tackle pulling. And here it is. You can see him coming right here, number 66 and number 63. A lot of running room for Mike Lianza here. He comes right here. Now he makes a little move to the outside and now kicks it into second gear and is down the sideline for the score. Nice offensive series by the Edison Wildcats.
Only second gear. That's quick.
Yeah.
He got it in the fourth.
Who knows where he would have ended up. He might have ended up in a Kroger parking lot.
Extra point is up and good, and we have a 7-point ball game as Edison takes it all the way down the field and puts it in for a touchdown. 14-7. We'll take a timeout and come back with more right after this. Welcome back on the Steel Valley Sports Medicine scoreboard. 14-7, Big Red over Edison, and Coach Lianza goes in for Edison, changes the complexion of the game at the end of the first half, turned away, and they weren't able to get on the board. How big was that, getting their first possession and just marching it right down the field?
I think it's huge, Bill, and they did it by moving the ball downfield consistently. It wasn't just one big play, but you know, they've got to have some confidence now in the fact that, you know, they now know and they can believe that, hey, we can move the ball against this good Big Red defense. You know, all we have to do is just hang in there, focus on what we're supposed to do, and most importantly, let's not make any mistakes. Let's not turn the ball over.
A little squibber. It'll be caught and downed by Big Red at the 29-yard line.
Number 45 fielded the ball cleanly. That's Damian Harris, sophomore tight end, defensive end, and just fielded the ball right there. Didn't want to take the chance of turning it over, so downed it at the 29-yard line.
He caught that football and he kind of looked around and went, you know, I'm just going to go down. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this thing. I'm just going to go down. I won't get in trouble with anybody.
That single back offense again. See if they come with the counter action with Benton at the tailback position now. Here it is.
Hand off to Benton. Bangs it into the line, and Richards bangs him into the Harding Stadium turf. Also in on the stop for Edison, number 86, Kevin Doherty.
I tell you, the defensive ends of Edison are doing a good job of squeezing the holes down and letting those linebackers come and make the tackles. We're going to see it right here. Guard pulls and Doherty plays with his inside shoulder, stacks it up, and you can also see number 79 there getting underneath his block. That's Jeff Brooks doing a good job as well.
Philtz, the fullback, he powers right up the middle, out close to the 35-yard line. Bendel on the stop for Edison.
Derek Bendel, the rover for that Edison defense. He'll align to the strength of the formation or to the open side of the field, and so you're liable to see him lined up in a variety of places depending upon down and distance and formation. Now he's going to align to the right of their formation. Big down here.
Straight off to West. And he is nailed at the line of scrimmage by Richards. And I said it before. Vinny West has to get it. He's got to get a beeper for Richards and find out where he is, because he has run into him smack right in the face mask 4 or 5 times in a row now.
This is the stretch play that Big Red likes to run with West, the stretch to defense. But right there you can see that Jeff Richards squares up with the ball carrier, has his nose right on the numbers, and holds him for a no gain.
Big Red kicks it away. Fair catch called for and made at the 36-yard line. That's right on the fair catch for Edison. We're going to take a timeout on the Steel Valley Sports Medicine scoreboard. Big Red 49 high school football game of the week. 14-7 Big Red on top of Edison. 5:49 to go in the third quarter of play. Bill Phillips along with the coach, Rich Walensky. Happy to be here with you on the game of the week as Bendel hauls in a catch out across the 45-yard line, and it's a first down for Edison as Moore is able to thread the needle, and Bendel goes upstairs and makes the grab.
That's a nice catch by Derek Bendel. Derek was the catcher on the Edison baseball team, has good hands, and a little fake right here, as you can see, to the fullback. It holds those linebackers, and then just a soft little pass and a great concentration and good catch by Derek Bendel for the first down.
Momentum has definitely shifted to the side of the Wildcats here in the third quarter as they pick up first down. Handoff, Leanza looking for some running room, and this time nothing doing. Looks like Philtz came in, number 27 for Big Red, and made the stop defensively. And indeed, he does get off the bottom of the pile. Leanza stopped, short gain, if any, on first down.
Philtz does a good job of running to the football from his inside linebacker position, catches this from behind, and not a lot of movement. Good defense there by number 60 for Big Red, doing a good job of playing off his block. That's Duke Jones, the defensive end.
Moore, play action. Looks across the middle, and it is picked off. He forced it. No one was home. About 4 Big Red defenders surrounded Richards, the intended receiver, and it is intercepted by Big Red. Joe Pizzoli, the senior, making the interception at the 49-yard line, and that's where Big Red will start over, 1st and 10.
I don't know if, okay, we're going to see it on a replay here. It's again play action, nice ball handling, trying to hold those linebackers, and then right here he's under a little bit of pressure. He's looking for, looked like he was looking for Bendel, who had curled up over the middle.
Benton to the outside. Benton with his speed to the corner, and he has a first down.
Number 85, Justin Howell over there had to come from his defensive secondary position to make that tackle, but good, solid, positive gain by Benton on first down. This time he bounces it to the outside. Linebackers get caught up in all of that fluff. You can see Richards trying to get to the outside, but Benton just has a little bit too much speed and is able to beat him to the corner.
The one thing you'd like to ask Moore at the end of the game is if the ball slipped out of his hand, because when he threw it, didn't look like it came out clean, as we have flags all over the place down on the field. But Richards and Bendel were in the area, but he hesitated, wanted to throw it, and then went back to reload. And I don't know if he lost grip of the football, but across the middle there was a lot of traffic, and but I don't know if that ball came out clean.
Well, you know, the thing is, Bill, when you're running that play action stuff and you fake that blast play, you know, with play action, what that does is that keeps the linebackers close to the line of scrimmage. And you know, he was trying to throw in that area, you know, where the linebackers, you know, had not yet made their drops, and it's very, very possible he may have lost, you know, the grip on the ball and threw it into coverage.
4:40 on the clock in the third quarter. Play action to West. Vane outside for Mayo. It is tipped and knocked away and incomplete. Howell on the coverage for the Edison Wildcats.
I tell you, when you're throwing that deep out, you got to throw the ball to the outside, and that time Vane got it behind the receiver a little bit. It looked like Howell was beat on the play, but with the ball thrown where it was, here it is, a little bootleg action right here. He has plenty of time, and he's looking for the deep out pattern, and Justin Howell makes a nice recovery and knocks the ball away, almost intercepted.
Needed to get a little more air under the ball, let him run underneath it, throw it out in front of him a little bit more on that one. Howell, good coverage. He's been all over the place tonight.
He's had a good game. Justin has had to come in and play in that defensive secondary, and has done a very, very credible job.
Benton to the corner. Benton with speed, cuts back. Benton down to the 35-yard line. Big pickup on second down. It'll leave Big Red short by about 6 yards for first down. It'll be third and a long 6, maybe even closer to 7 from about the 36-yard line.
Here it is again, and again it's that stretch play. They just, you know, stretch out the defense, and the fullback is looking for a block right here. Benton takes it to the outside, desperate trying to catch it from behind, but Richards is there to make the tackle again, inside out. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
And there's a motion penalty against Big Red as Benton carries for the first down yardage, but on the outside, Healy and Mayo looked at each other, and they were discussing who was lined up where, and Healy stepped up closer to the line of scrimmage right as the ball was about to be snapped, and it'll be a motion penalty against Big Red.
And that's going to help that Edison defense because Big Red starting to move the ball right here. It was 3rd and 7, and they would have probably had the first down on the play, but it's going to bring it back, and it will end up as being 3rd and 12. They're going to march it off from about the 35-yard line, so that'll put the ball back outside the 40 at about the 40.5-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
Just had a flashback, Coach.
What's that?
5-yard penalty against Big Red on a motion or a holding penalty back from the West Branch game. Benton to the outside. He's got blockers. Filtz out in front, and he has a first down and more out across the 30-yard line. And if you don't remember the West Branch game, state semifinal, late in the game, Big Red trying to drive. They had a couple of penalties, and somehow they had 2 5-yard penalties back-to-back without the ball being put into play, and they managed not to come up with a first down.
Okay, they came up with the first down here, and again it was Benton to the outside. They came with an end over, and they're unbalanced again right here, and see if they come with the same formation and the same play.
Benton right up the middle. Brooks helping drag him down from behind. Van Dyke at the bottom of the pile as well, and right now the offensive line for Big Red starting to get a real good push on just about each and every down against this Edison defense.
Yeah, they're starting to control the line of scrimmage, and that time it was just straight power over the left side, and a good positive gain of 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 5, and again here's the end over, the unbalanced.
Benton that way, looks to cut it back. Bottled up at the 20-yard line, pickup of about 3 on the play. He'll be short of the first down by about 2.5 yards, and Benton will get a rest as he heads off to the sideline.
You can see they have 3 offensive linemen over here, plus a split end that way and a flanker, and then what they try to do is soften that corner with that, Bill, and they try to find a little bit of running room over there by pushing off with those wide people and blocking real strong with the tight end that way as well. Here it is, not this time. Fields over the right side. It's going to be close.
I don't think he has it.
We're signaling 4th down.
He's
I'm
about
sure Coach Sakoch will go for it here.
About the length of the football short of the first down, and we have an official timeout for measurement. And that's a real big break for Steubenville Big Red. They have an opportunity because they probably think we're short. Let's get our play. Instead of having to rush, make the decision, the official timeout to get a measurement helps them in allowing the coaching staff to discuss exactly what they want to try and do here on 4th down.
Sure does. And they've got the play, and Coach Sakoch is giving it to Matt Bain, number 8, their quarterback. And he'll take it into the rest of his teammates. It's 4th and less than a yard. Inside the 20-yard line of Edison.
About the length of football. 1:54 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Big Red on top, 14-7. Big Red 2 touchdowns in the first half. Edison grabs one here in the 3rd quarter. West trying to get outside, ball's on the ground, and it is recovered by Big Red, but on downs it goes over to the Wildcats, and the Cats defense had that strung out. Even if West had gotten to the corner, I don't think he would have made it.
I don't think he would have made it either, Bill. Josh Richards was there, I mean, right now. I mean, he came on a blitz from the inside. Here he comes right here, number 32. He plays off the block, and West loses the handle on the ball, but even if he hadn't, he would have been thrown for a loss, and Edison would have maintained possession of the football.
Seems like
Big defensive play for Edison right there.
Seems like when Vinny West gets the football from Big Red, Richards knows where it's going.
I'll tell you, he certainly has had a real good game defensively.
He carries on 1st down for about 5 or 6 yards, stopped by Zapolnik and Andrew Zapolnik. And it'll be a pickup of about 5, 2nd down and 5 now for Edison.
Okay, Richards is playing possessed right now. A nice cross block here by the Edison offensive line, and a good solid hit right there by number 46 coming off the corner. That's Andrew Zapolnik. Second and 6, gain of 4.
Hand off to Meyer. And he'll be close to a 1st down out around the 31-yard line. I don't think he had enough on that play, but it'll bring up 3rd and short for the Wildcats.
Yeah, the misdirection has been real successful for Edison. Here's the fake to Richards, and then the hand back to Myers. Backside guard and tackle are pulling, and almost gets the 1st down here, is tackled, and then is able to drag the tackler for about another yard. It's going to bring up they did
1st down.
They did give him the 1st down. Did they move the sticks? I thought
1st down. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Meyer on the carry into the secondary. He takes a shot, and he is shaken up on the play as he took a forearm to the side of the head, and he's a little woozy as he heads back to the huddle.
We're going to take a look at it right here, and
they may want to get him out of the game.
I'm sure that they will. It's a blast play over the right side, and makes a nice cutback right here, and here you're going to see the hit right there. Not so much, I think it was more with the knee than it was with the forearm. That's going to bring an end to the 3rd quarter.
Well, and at the end of the 3rd quarter of play on the Steel Valley Sports Medicine scoreboard, 14-7, Big Red on top of Edison. This one looks like it's going to come down to the wire.
Hi,
Welcome back to the WTOV9 high school football game of the week. We head to the 4th quarter now. Edison trails it 14-7, but they have the football. 2nd down and 6 from their own 36-yard line, with a full 12 minutes on the clock as we get ready to start the 4th quarter of play. Bill Phillips along with the coach, Rich Walensky. And coach, this one has been a good one. Some turnovers that have cost both teams, but all in all, a very entertaining and well-played ball game.
Very well-played and well-coached ball game on both sides of the field.
Moore to throw, sets up the screen. Meyer, 3 blockers out in front. He's got running room, but Mayo makes a big play. Meyer gets the first down. That could have gone for more yardage, but Mayo makes a real nice stop at the 45. But nonetheless, a first down for Edison as they pick up a nice chunk of yardage out to their own 45.
I tell you, he had plenty of running room. You know, had he been in the wide side of the field with that, Bill, he would have had maybe a little more room to maneuver. But a nice job here of setting up the screen by Edison, and Myers is, as you can see, is right here on the sideline, cuts it back inside, but a good open field tackle by number 9, Mayo, for holding Myers from the score.
Moore slips, spins away, gets the pass off. It's tipped and incomplete, and almost a major disaster for Edison as that ball was tipped up in the air. As Moore got it off, but it falls incomplete, and it'll bring up second down and 10.
Steve Moore right there. It looks like maybe somebody might have got on his heel. He's able to get away from the tackler right here, and then looking for a receiver, throws the ball, and it's tipped. And he had an interception earlier in the ball game on a tip like that, and fortunately for Edison, the ball falls incomplete. Second and 10 at about the 45-yard line of Edison.
Moore, reverse. Good block on Filtz, gives him some running room. Now we have a flag on the play. It is Jones who makes the stop on the carry, Brett Warren, and we'll have to wait and see what the call is.
I think it's going to be called a clip. It was thrown by the official on this side of the field. Holding
penalty against Edison. That hurts. I'd like to see that on the replay if we have one.
Here's on a replay. It's a reverse off the option. Backside guard Bobby Van Dyke is pulling right here, and he's trying to log the defender to the inside. I'm not exactly sure where the hold was. We can't see it on the replay, but it's going to be brought back. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, so it'll be second and about 16 from inside the 40-yard line of Edison. Edison pulling out all the stops here. Screen pass, reverses off of the option. See what Coach Bain pulls out of his bag of tricks on this down.
Timeout called down on the field by Steubenville Big Red. We'll take a timeout. Steel Valley Sports Medicine scoreboard, Big Red 14, Edison 7. Welcome back to Harding Stadium in Steubenville, Ohio for the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week between Steubenville Big Red and the Edison Wildcats. 14-7 our score, 11:06 to go in the ball game. Edison with it, second and 16, and on the option they give to Richards straight up the middle. He picks up a couple of yards across the 40. It'll bring up third down and a long 12-13 yards for the Wildcats.
Looks like he had some running room. Somebody got a hand on his ankle and was able to trip him up after a short gain of maybe about 4. It'll bring up third and 12. It's a big down right here for Edison. They of course would like to convert. They have twins set to the right side. See if they come with the pass.
Moore looks to throw, has time, waits, looks across the middle, and it is incomplete. Incomplete.
Trying to hit number 85 coming across the middle. That's Justin Howell. He's running an in pattern from his wide position. Here you can see Steve Moore. He's got plenty of time to throw, good blocking. Throws the ball and incomplete. Double coverage on the receiver, and looks like Edison's going to be forced to punt.
Receiver Howell, when he came across the middle, got a little jostled as he came through, but no flag on the play. And it will be fourth down now with 4th and 12 for Edison with 10:23 to go, and we have another timeout down on the field.
Edison's going to have to call timeout. They only had 10 players out on the field, and they were signaling for somebody else to come in, but a little bit of confusion over there, and Jason Sanders, the punter, calls timeout, and wisely so, and avoids a 5-yard penalty.
Let's take a look at what comes up next week on the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. Harrison Central and Barnesville. The Shamrocks off to a great start. Harrison Central, first ever year as a school in consolidation out there with Caddis, Jewett, Sile, Lakeland. They form Harrison Central, and Harrison Central in the cross-country championships. Coach, just a little. Oh, we're gonna give a little bit away here. Harrison Central gets an Ovac crown in that, so they win their first crown as an Ovac member. As Harrison Central, they have to wait and see exactly. Is it the boys, the girls, individual, team, what it was?
There you go.
But Harrison Central gets a championship banner to put up.
Jason Sanders wants to be real careful here. Punter for Edison. He's had a good night kicking the ball so far, and he of course wants to get a pretty good punt here. Don't give Steubenville good field position. Good snap.
Gets the kick away.
Pretty good kick.
Mayo takes it at the 24-yard line, across the 30, 35, still on his feet out to the 37-yard line. First and 10 for Big Red from their 37 with 10-11 to go. We'll take a timeout and come back with more right after this. First and 10 for Big Red from their 37. Vinny West outside, cuts it back, has some running room. Richards finds him again, but not before he picks up 15 yards and a first down.
Misdirection really had Edison fooled a little bit, really trying to get to the ball very, very quickly. Lost contain on the ball on this side. And you're going to see Vinny West bring this to the outside. Defensive end does a good job of stacking it out, forces him to the outside, but you can see there's not a whole lot of pursuit coming right there until Josh Richards comes all the way from the backside to make the tackle in the open field.
West, this time Phillips is able to get a block on Richards. West picks up about 6 on the play. On the stop for Edison, Anthony Grimm, number 63.
Vinny West does such a good job of finding the crack in that defense. You know, is able to move to the open area, get as many yards as he possibly can. A very, very good cutback runner, and does so with a lot of speed and power.
West has it pop up out of his hands, and is it on the ground? And it is. It is Edison football at the 44-yard line of Edison. So West, on back-to-back possessions, coughs it up, and it'll be Edison football at the 44-yard line.
Well, I tell you, this is so uncharacteristic of Big Red's running game. They very, very seldom turn the ball over, and tonight they've turned it over more than a couple times. And this time when they had a nice little drive going, and so Edison will take over at their own 44-yard line with a lot of time left to go in the game, 9 minutes and 10 seconds.
Edison with an opportunity, 9-10 to go. Lianza cuts back, picks up a couple of yards. Nice cutback, avoided being hit for a loss as he saw that there was nothing doing outside, cut it back in, and dove ahead for about a yard.
We're going to take a look at it right here. Here it is again, a little fake right there, and then the hand back, and they've got the defensive end locked to the inside, but they really run very well to the football in pursuit of the football. That's Mayo, number 9, coming up from his defensive secondary spot to make the tackle, and he's had a real good game defensively.
Holland and Warren, the receivers, option down the line with Moore, just gets the pitch off Lianza. Phillips has a shot at him, can't get him, but the second one, DeMayo gets him and knocks him out of bounds. And we start thinking about players of the game, Coach, and very rarely do we have 2 defensive players of the game, but right. I'll tell you what, Richards and Mayo, they could get the nod tonight. They've both been all over the field defensively.
They sure have. They played very, very well. Here's a down the line option, and you can see right here, and real good defense. They forced the pitch, but then they forced the pitch man to cut back to the inside. And right here you can see Mayo coming up to make the hit after a loss of about 2, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 11.
Meyer in the backfield. He'll come out of the backfield and go in motion. He'll now set to the near side of the field. Long count for Edison. Swing it outside, and I'll tell you what.
Dangerous
Dangerous play. If Zapolnik looks up, he's going to have an interception. That almost hit him in the head.
Well, I tell you, that was Meyer trying to hit, or I'm sorry, Stevie Moore trying to hit Meyer on a slant pattern to the inside, but good underneath coverage by number 46, Zapolnik. He has a good lane to throw into, but you can see right here that just no room to get the ball in there, and had Zapolnik kept his head up looking for the ball, he may have intercepted.
Almost hit him in the air hole. 4th down and 11. Good snap, kick away, high end over end kick. Healy will take it at the 20-yard line, gets to the corner, and he is out close to the 29-yard line before being dragged down. We'll take a timeout. Bendel with the tackle, back with more right after this. Welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. Matt Vane looking downfield, has a man. Phil's open, and it's through his hands.
Wow, they had 2 guys open. Number 84 was open down the middle of the field. I think that's Radakovich. The big tight end was wide open, and then Phil's, the fullback coming out of the backfield, you can see him right here, is totally free, and Vane has 2 receivers to choose from. He's looking at Phil's all the way, wide open down the sideline, and the ball just through his hands, incomplete.
He's trying to catch it. He's got his hands the wrong way, had him backwards. He should have turned him the other way. Could have caught the football. He's trying to bring it into the bottom.
Okay. Tell you, Edison very lucky that time.
Benton right up the middle. He is knocked down after about a 9-yard gain.
Draw play, very effective. Big Red's offensive line able to get the defensive lineman from Edison turned to the outside, and they're able to find a crack in there for Benton, and he gets it up field close to the first down. It'll bring up 3rd and about 1.
Justin Howell on the stop, number 85. .7:20 to go in the ball game. Zapolnik in motion. Benton up the middle for a first down into the secondary and out to the 50-yard line before he is driven down by Josh Meyer. 1st and 10 for Big Red at midfield.
This is the same thing the Big Red did last series. Their offensive line really starting to get some push in there. Good blocking by the offensive backs as well, and again a good cutback by Benton. Brings the ball up near the 50-yard line, and Big Red on the prowl again.
Benton looking to get to the corner. Good pursuit by Edison, but he runs through a tackler. Now he cuts back, still on his feet, finally knocked down at the 30-yard line. Edison did a great job. Brett Warren did a great job of stringing him out all the way down the line of scrimmage, but then Edison just didn't make the play, Coach.
It looked like Brett Warren, had him pinned on the sideline, ready to bring him down or out of bounds. You can see right here that they react to the ball very, very well. Here comes Richards from the inside. They're making him run east and west right here. Warren in pretty good shape. Looks like he's going to bring him down. We have a guy that overruns him, and he's able to run through that tackle and get it upfield for real positive yardage.
Vinny West back in the ball game for Big Red. He's into the middle of the Edison defense for about 5 or 6 yards.
Okay, he gets to the point where conditioning begins to take over and see which is the best conditioned team. There's an awful lot of kids for Edison going both ways, as well as for Big Red. Big Red maybe having the edge a little bit in depth, and now Coach Bain trying to get some fresh players into that defensive line. Bring in number 60. That's Sean Fitzgerald for Edison at the defensive end position.
West to the corner. West close to the 20-yard line, and he'll be close to a first down.
He's going to be short by about a half a yard, I would say, Bill, and it'll bring up 3rd and less than a yard.
Take another look at it.
It's the blast play over the left side, and has some running room, but Edison does a pretty good job of reacting, but just not quick enough. But they do hold him short of the first down at about the 21-yard line, inside the 21. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Credit Lance Desper with the stop for the Edison Wildcats. 3rd and short at the 21 for Big Red. I formation, hand off to Philps, the fullback. He's shoved back.
I tell you, I don't know. It all depends on where they're going to spot it, and it'll be up to the linesman on the far side of the field to make that determination. And they've got it. It's short of the 20-yard line.
They have it right on the 20, Coach.
Well, the nose of the ball is nudging the 20-yard line, so we'll see if he got that. And I tell you, it's going to be awful close. I'm going to say yes, he got it. But I tell you, good defensive play that time by Edison. Getting underneath that offensive line and holding them. Just made it by the nose of the football. First down.
.5:14 left in this ball game. 14-7. Big Red on top of Edison.
See if they come with the counter again to Vinnie West. They've been real successful coming over the right side with that tailback counter play. They're double tight with a wing. I'm going to stick to power football probably. There's the counter.
Hand off to West outside. He's got 4 or 5, maybe 6.
Okay, number 21, Brett Warren, was there in pretty good shape. He came up from his defensive back position. He saw the play develop, but got a hand on West, forced him back to the inside where the rest of the pursuit was able to catch up.
Meyer making the stop.
Josh Meyer comes from his free safety position to make the stop along with a host of Edison defenders. Benton comes in to give West a blow.
Zapolnik lined up in a wing. Now he'll come in motion. They run behind him. Benton right up the middle. Benton to the 5. Benton to the 4-yard line. First and goal for Big Red.
I'll tell you, that was close. I thought that Zapolnik was moving toward the line of scrimmage prior to the snap, but wasn't called. But he was moving very, very quickly. On the replay, I see now that he wasn't. It was a good call. Benton running straight up the middle, and Big Red is real good position right now inside the 5, first and goal, and it behooves the Edison defense to hold right here, or they're going to be in a precarious position and trying to make a comeback with less than 4 minutes left to go in the ball game. Coach Sekuach is conferring with one of the officials, and there's a problem with the clock, so we'll see exactly what the problem is. Tom Tillman and the field judge on this side are looking at the clock, and they're resetting the clock. I don't know if they're resetting it to more time or less time. Resetting it to 4:05 instead of 3:54.
So more time put up on the clock. First down and goal from the 4-yard line for Steubenville Big Red. Benton and Filtz in the backfield in an I formation. Zapolnik split as a wing, and now he'll come in motion. Handoff. Benton, flag on the play. He's stacked up at the 2-yard line and pushed back across the 5. This time, Coach, I think you may have Zapolnik going towards the line of scrimmage before the snap of the ball as the flag came out. Coach Bain on the far side of the field has scooped up that flag. He has it in his hand. I don't know if he's going to hide it on anybody.
That's illegal procedure against Big Red, so that's going to cost him 5 yards. We're going to take a look at it here. Looks like maybe
one of the guards.
Yeah, one of the inside offensive linemen may have moved prior to the snap, and that was called by the head linesman. But pretty good defense by Edison anyway to hold Benton to a very, very short gain. Josh Meyer coming up very quickly from his free safety position.
First and goal now from the 9-yard line. 3:42 as the clock rolls. Edison desperate to get the football back. They trail it 14-7 as West carries. Has an opening. West stopped at the 5-yard line. Desper came up quickly along with Meyer to make the stop after a 4-yard gain. Second and goal from the 5.
Okay, Big Red doesn't run a lot of plays. This is one of their favorites, is that deep handoff counter back with the backside guard and tackle pulling. Good job, pretty good job by the defensive end on that side, stacking it up, forcing him back to the inside. It's going to bring up second and goal from about the 5.5-yard line.
Big Red in absolutely no hurry, taking as much time off the clock between plays as they can. Clock inside of 3 minutes now. Hand off to Benton. Benton into the end zone. No, ball's loose, and we have no touchdown signal. The Cats may have it back.
We'll see what the call is going to be. Now
we have a touchdown
call.
Now we have confusion down on the field. The Wildcats thought they had a fumble. Big Red has been awarded a touchdown. Let's see if we can figure it out.
Their last play over the left side. Ooh, I don't know if he was over the goal line when he lost control of the ball or not, Bill. From that angle, it's kind of hard. Here it is right here.
Ooh, I don't know. That's close.
That's awful close.
And recovering the football, I don't know if we actually had a definitive signal as to who recovered it. It looked like the Cats had the best shot at it because they had 3 players right around it as the Big Red horse on top of the scoreboard. Let's take a break. We'll come back and take a look at that again. 21-7, Big Red on top of Edison. Take a look at the Big Red touchdown as they lead at 21-7. Benton goes in. Did he get across the line? And who recovered the football?
Well, that's one thing we have to see right there. I don't think he has the ball going in. I think he lost it before he crossed the end line, Bill. And
there's 2 Wildcats right there that get on the football.
Well, it was close. Those guys were a lot closer to it than we were, so we take their word for it.
Squib kick, and it is finally recovered by Edison at the 25-yard line. They'll take over their 1st and 10, down 2:52. Let's take a look at it. We'll take a look at it from a different angle. There's Benton. Does he get in?
There's at the 5.
So he's right there at the goal line. Now the ball is loose here.
He doesn't have
Benton
control
goes
of it
back
going
for
in.
it. Now here, there's Cats all over the place. I don't know how Wildcat didn't recover that. Looked like, man, Anthony Grimm, number 63
was
jumped in and was right on top of it.
Sure looked like it.
It's ruled a touchdown. Big Red has 7 on the board, 21-7 now with 2:52 to go. So the Wildcats, they were facing some tough odds, down 14-7 as the clock rolled inside of 3 minutes to play. But now down 2 scores with under 3 minutes to play. They really have their work cut out for them as they swing it outside to Bendel. Good coverage by Big Red. Zapolnik and Mayo there for Big Red. Moore almost threaded the needle.
He's covered by two defenders right there, trying to throw a little bit of bootleg action right here. Good blocking right here. You can see Bobby Van Dyke coming out and trying to throw. The ball is there. They're just not able to handle it. Good coverage though by the Big Red linebackers and defensive secondary.
Moore rolls to the near side, has Meyer and Howell in the area. Incomplete. Meyer made a dive for it, so did Howell. It's incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 from the 25-yard line.
Important thing for Edison here is to get the 1st down. They need to have a series of downs. Steve Moore coming out on a sprint out, looking for Meyer running an out pattern. He's there, but the ball is overthrown. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 for Edison at their own 25-yard line.
Third and 10, Moore to throw. Has time, now he runs out of time. Getting there first, Rick Terry. He got some help. And it's a sack for Big Red. It'll bring up 4th down and long.
Don't have a lot of time. Big Red knows that Edison has to throw the ball, so they're just teeing off, not paying any attention to the run whatsoever. And those defenders from Big Red defensive linemen are able to get to Steve Moore before he has an opportunity to get rid of the ball. They'll force Edison into a punting situation.
Credit Justin Knight with the sack. Big Red end over end kick. Big Red just going to get away from the football and let it roll dead. Kill some more time as Edison downs it at the 45-yard line. coach players of the game and take a look at some of the players out on the field. For Edison, we're going to go with Richards. For Edison, the fullback linebacker, he was all over the place, Josh Richards. And he will be our selection for the Edison Wildcats. And Coach, I think defensively, why not go with Mayo? We talked about it. He was all over the field. So we'll go with DeMar Mayo from Big Red. So 2 defensive players, 2 defensive standouts. Both play offense, but tonight really made their mark on defense.
Big Red just going to try to take care of the ball and run as much time off the clock as they possibly can. Edison has 2 timeouts remaining. Big Red has 2 timeouts remaining. We'll see if Coach Bain decides to use some of his timeouts here. Josh Meyer right there, number 4, has had a big game also for Edison. He's played a good game on both sides of the football. So, you know, it's a real difficult decision, but there's our picks.
Hand off to the fullback on the carry, Gavin Federico, a junior. Short gain on the play. 21-7 our score with 1:09 to go in the ball game. We have an official timeout down on the field, and the officials point Edison's way. So the Wildcats call timeout with 1:09 to go in the game, trailing by 14.
Edison, Edison has played a very spirited game. They've played very hard. Big Red has played equally hard. Very good football team. They're going to get a bundle of points out of this win. It's going to keep them in the playoff picture in their division, no doubt. And I'm sure that Coach Bain came in with a very good, solid game plan. The kids executed it very well. Big Red, the same thing. So this was, even though the score is 21-7, this game is a lot closer than what that score indicates.
Well played game by both teams, and coming into tonight's game in Region 11. Big Red came in rated 4th in the computer rankings. Next week, game of the week, Steubenville Catholic Central, Wheeling Central Catholic. That's Saturday night at 11:30. So Steubenville Central and Wheeling Central will meet next weekend on the game of the week.
The good thing out of this game, Bill, is that it's going to appear that both teams are going to come out of this with no serious injuries. Big Red did have one of their special team members injured in the first half, and we certainly hope that he's doing well. He was taken off the field on a stretcher, and we of course send our best regards out to him and hope that everything will be fine with him. Luke Hartman, that's right.
Hand off to Benton, right up the middle, has some running rooms. Is he going to be caught? And he will drag a tackler into the end zone. Benton goes in from 40 yards out. His second touchdown of the game.
They didn't score, Bill. The ball is inside the 5-yard line. It's on about the 2.
Okay. Looked like he got in the end zone from here.
Real strong run by Benton as he gets into the secondary. Number 21 is able to grab his shirt and hold on. That's Brett Warren, keeps him from getting into the end zone.
Handoff, and Big Red is in the end zone on the score. Brandon Fletcher, number 21, a junior, 5'6", 145-pounder. He is into the end zone and is now 27-7 with 41 seconds to go in the ball game. Big Red on top of the Edison Wildcats. Extra point is no good, and we will remain at 27-7 with 41 seconds left in the ball game. Steubenville Big Red in 41 seconds should pick up their 5th win of the season. They will improve to 5-1. The Edison Wildcats will drop to 4-2 on the 1999 season. We have 41 seconds left to play here at Harding Stadium on the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. Bill Phillips along with the coach, Rich Walensky, and The crowd starting to head to the exits here on a beautiful Friday night for high school football.
.41 seconds left to go in the game, and I'm sure that Big Red will squib kick it, not giving Edison an opportunity for any type of a big return. Edison does have one timeout left. I'm sure that you know, Coach Bain will try to utilize as much of the clock as he possibly can.
Along with Mike Leanza, Mike Bowden.
Squib kick right down the middle, fielded by the Wildcats and returned by the Wildcats out to the 40-yard line. Right.
44, Craig Wright, 5'7", 140-pound running back, junior.
He has been very involved in all of the special teams.
Yes,
like
he has.
He's had an opportunity to make a tackle, make a return on a number of occasions tonight.
Steve Moore comes back out on the field, and Edison High School has their starting offensive unit in there.
40-yard line, 38 seconds to go, 27-7. And Moore is yelling over to the sideline. Richards on the handoff straight ahead. And it looked like Moore wanted either a different play or different personnel out on the field as he kept yelling over to the coaching staff.
Doesn't look like Coach Bain's going to call a timeout. He'll let the clock run down.
That may have been the biggest. Well,
it's been a very, very good football game. You know, Big Red, you know, has a 27-7 lead, but as I said earlier, that this game was a whole lot closer than what that score indicates.
Right on the carry, out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. He is stopped there, and the clock has come to an end at 0-0. So week number 6 is in the book for Edison and Steubenville Big Red. Our final score tonight: Steubenville Big Red 27, the Edison Wildcats 7. Vinny West with 2 touchdowns, and Brian Benton with 2 touchdowns for the Steubenville Big Red. As they pull ahead at the end of the game, we take a look at our players of the game. Once again, Coach Richards and Mayo, 2 defensive standouts tonight for both schools. Coach, some final thoughts.
Well, I think that you know, this ball game, as I've said a couple times before, is a lot closer than the final score is indicated. It doesn't get a whole lot easier for Edison. They've got East Liverpool next week, and you know, they've got to come out of this game with some real positives, and I think they can. I think that defensively they played pretty well, made some mistakes, turned the ball over that hurt them, had some penalties that hurt them, but I think overall they played a very, very strong game. Big Red, on the other hand, you know, did what they had to do. They stuck with their running game, very, very strong running game. They have excellent, you know, array of backs with West and Benton. Good, solid defensive unit, and I'm sure that you know, that's going to carry them a long, long way over the course of the rest of the season. This puts them in a real solid playoff position in their division now and in their region. So you know, they have to look forward to their next opponents, and if they keep on doing the things that they're doing, I'm sure that they're going to have a lot of success over the course of the rest of this year.
Mike Leanza with a touchdown for the Edison Wildcats. Our final score once again, 27-7. Big Red over the Wildcats on the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. That does it for tonight's game. One last look at the Steel Valley Sports Medicine scoreboard. That's your final. I'm Bill Phillips for the coach, Rich Walensky, and the rest of the WTOV9 team. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Ready, break.